A messy multi-account AWS environment doesn't stay messy quietly. It shows up later in a failed audit, an accidental production change, or a security gap nobody caught in time. AWS Control Tower exists to prevent exactly that. It gives you a governed landing zone instead of a pile of ungoverned accounts. This video walks through 15 practical strategies for getting the most out of Control Tower. They span account provisioning, guardrails, identity, tagging, compliance reporting, and disaster recovery. 15 AWS Control Tower strategies. 1. Establish a multi-account strategy with Account Factory. 2. Implement preventative and detective guardrails strategically. 3. Design your organizational unit structure for scale. 4. Leverage the security OU for centralized logging and audit. 5. Establish a landing zone customization strategy with CFCT. 6. Implement account baseline automation for consistency. 7. Define a guardrail exception and approval process. 8. Establish network architecture patterns with Account Factory. 9. Implement drift detection and remediation workflows. 10. Plan for Control Tower updates and version management. 11. Integrate identity management with AWS IAM Identity Center. 12. Design a tagging strategy enforced at account creation. 13. Establish cross-account automation with service control policies. 14. Implement compliance reporting and dashboard strategy. 15. Plan for disaster recovery and business continuity. 1. Establish a multi-account strategy with Account Factory. Account Factory is the part of AWS Control Tower that automates new account creation. Every account comes out with the same guardrails, network baseline, and policies already applied. Pairing it with AWS Service Catalog lets developers self-serve a new account instead of filing a ticket. So how do you keep every account consistent? Define what a standard account looks like, then let Account Factory enforce it every time. 2. Implement preventative and detective guardrails strategically. Control Tower guardrails come in 2 flavors. Preventative guardrails, enforced through service control policies, stop a non-compliant action before it happens. Detective guardrails, built on AWS config rules, flag violations so your team can remediate them. Start with the mandatory guardrails, then add strongly recommended ones gradually, testing against real workloads first. 3. Design your organizational unit structure for scale. Your organizational unit hierarchy is the skeleton everything else in Control Tower hangs off of. A well-designed OU structure mirrors your compliance boundaries, workload types, and team responsibilities. Common patterns separate production from non-production or split by business unit or data classification. Guardrails apply at the OU level, so this structure directly shapes how granular your governance can be. 4. Leverage the security OU for centralized logging and audit. Control Tower automatically provisions a log archive account and an audit account inside a dedicated security OU. The log archive account centralizes CloudTrail logs and AWS config data from every account. The audit account gives security and compliance teams read access to investigate incidents. Restrict access to these 2 accounts to security personnel only. That separation of duties is what keeps the audit trail credible. 5. Establish a landing zone customization strategy with CFCT. Control Tower's native guardrails cover a lot, but almost no organization runs on defaults alone. That's where customizations for AWS Control Tower, or CFCT, comes in. It layers custom CloudFormation templates, service control policies, and AWS config rules on top of the landing zone. Every layer is defined as code and version controlled. What if Control Tower doesn't cover something you need? Treat CFCT as the extension mechanism for anything Control Tower doesn't natively provide. 6. Implement account baseline automation for consistency. New accounts shouldn't sit idle waiting for someone to configure networking, IAM roles, and security tooling by hand. Account Factory customization and AWS Service Catalog portfolios let you define a baseline that deploys automatically the moment an account is created. Every account then meets the same organizational standard on day one. Fewer manual steps between creation and readiness means fewer security gaps slip through unnoticed. 7. Define a guardrail exception and approval process. Guardrails exist to protect the organization, but real business needs sometimes require an exception. A formal process gives teams a legitimate path to request one, backed by documented justification and appropriate approval. Good exceptions are time-bound, not permanent, and come with compensating controls. Track requests through AWS Service Catalog or a ticketing system so nobody forgets why an exception exists. We have a lot more about this on systemsarchitect.io. See the full section there. Also, make sure to like the video and subscribe to the channel for more and check the video notes for links. 8. Establish network architecture patterns with Account Factory. Every new account eventually needs to connect to something: shared services, the internet, or other accounts. Standardized network blueprints wired into Account Factory's provisioning workflow connect every account the same intentional way. Common patterns include centralized egress through a transit gateway, shared VPCs, or fully isolated VPCs for sensitive workloads. Pre-built templates cut deployment time and reduce misconfiguration risk. 9. Implement drift detection and remediation workflows. A landing zone that looked compliant on day one can quietly drift out of compliance over time. Control Tower's native drift detection continuously monitors your accounts for exactly this kind of divergence. Pair it with remediation workflows, automated or approval-based, that restore compliance once drift is found. Treat drift detection as an ongoing practice, not a one-time setup step. 10. Plan for Control Tower updates and version management. AWS regularly ships new Control Tower landing zone versions with new guardrails and integrations. Test new versions in non-production organizational units first and review the release notes before applying them broadly. Schedule updates during defined maintenance windows with rollback plans in place. Falling behind eventually locks you out of newer guardrails and tighter service integrations. 11. Integrate identity management with AWS IAM Identity Center. Managing separate credentials for every account doesn't scale. That's why Control Tower integrates with AWS IAM Identity Center, the service formerly known as AWS Single Sign-On. It lets you define permission sets mapped to job functions and apply them consistently as new accounts are provisioned. Why does this scale so well? That consistency is the real payoff. A permission set behaves the same on account number 3 or account 300. It also gives you a single org-wide audit trail of who accessed what. 12. Design a tagging strategy enforced at account creation. Tags are easy to ignore until you need them for cost allocation, a compliance audit, or automation. Account Factory can enforce mandatory tagging the moment an account is created, cascading tags down to resources. A good tag set covers cost center, environment, and an owner or team for incident response. Enforce tags at creation rather than retrofitting them later across dozens of accounts. 13. Establish cross-account automation with service control policies. Service control policies deployed through Control Tower enforce organization-wide boundaries without micromanaging every team's daily work. Effective SCPs block genuinely high-risk actions, like disabling CloudTrail logging, while leaving legitimate development activity untouched. Layering SCPs at different OU levels creates progressively tighter environments as you approach production. How do you avoid breaking things with a new policy? Test any new or modified SCP in a non-production OU before rolling it out broadly. 14. Implement compliance reporting and dashboard strategy. Guardrails and drift detection generate a lot of valuable data, but it only helps if you can see it in one place. Centralized compliance dashboards pull together guardrail status, drift results, and security findings, typically aggregated in the audit account. AWS Security Hub and AWS Config aggregators do much of the heavy lifting here. Regular compliance reporting demonstrates to auditors and leadership that your governance is actually working. 15. Plan for disaster recovery and business continuity. It's easy to assume Control Tower's landing zone will simply always be there. Then a compromised management account or a regional disruption forces you to recover it. Document and test your recovery procedures ahead of time, including how you'd respond if the management account itself were compromised. Keep current backups of your account factory customizations and CFCT configurations in version control. A disaster recovery plan you've actually tested is worth far more than one that only exists on paper. In summary, AWS Control Tower gives you the scaffolding for governed multi-account AWS environments. But that scaffolding only works as well as the strategy behind it. Account factory, guardrails, OU design, identity, tagging, and reporting all have to work together. So does rehearsing recovery before you actually need it. Do all of that and Control Tower stops being a checkbox. It becomes a genuine operational advantage. Start with the fundamentals of account provisioning and guardrails. Layer in automation and reporting practices as your organization grows. Revisit each of these 15 strategies as your account count and compliance requirements evolve. Well, that does it for now. Hope you got something out of this video. Find a lot more articles and guides on both systemsarchitect.io and codeguides.io. That's systemsarchitect.io and codeguides.io.